I know, where the fuck have I been, right? Well, guys, I know I haven't posted a video in well over a month and a half, but, you know, I've been busy with school, trying to find a job, which is fucking impossible where I live. I live in Illinois, just for people. Crying machines, you know. Whatever. Anyway, I'm coming out with the deck profile today, guys. I just slurred my words in there. Damn it, I gotta work on that. Anyway, I have a deck profile here for you guys, and this one is a very interesting one that I remember seeing in the 5Ds episode, but never thought, could I make this deck work? And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who's ever done this deck. I'm not making me the queen holder of this deck, no. But I'm just saying, I've never seen a person use on Dueling Network, as far as I can recall. Anyway, this is Jesters. If y'all remember Jesters, they were the ones that Lazar used, I believe was his name. Yeah, Lazar. He faced off against Crow that one episode where the Dark Signers were just about to come. He had, you know, the Jester cards, he had all those traps. Unfortunately, a lot of those did not get printed. Like, there's another Jester card called Jester Queen, which makes the deck a ton better. But unfortunately, that has never been printed in the TCG, or even in the OCG, I think. I could be wrong. I'll look it up after this video. So anyway, this is just what we've got here, and so let's get started. First, we're running 3 Jester Confit. Confit is one of those cards that probably should not have been super rare, but still is a good card. Basically, you're allowed to special summon this. You can either choose to normal or special summon it. But if you special summon it, this is where it gets good. At the end of your opponent's end phase, you can return this card and one face-up monster to the field. But you cannot control one more than... You can only control one Jester Confit per turn. So yeah, it's kind of a little restrictive, but you know, still good card, you know, easily to bounce a person's monster off, plus it puts it back in your hand. And plus you've got a lot of traps to protect it, which we'll get to later. Next we're running the big guy. Well, not really big guy, and holy shit, is my computer acting up? God damn it. Bird, stop squeaking! Okay, here we go. Anyway, this is Jester Lord. Now, this card, if played right, can be a real threat, because here's its effect. If this is the only monster on the field, it gains 1,000 attack for each spell and trap, each card in the spell and trap card zone. So that's you and your opponent, counting field spells. So this could have, at a maximum, 10,000 attack points, if it's the only monster out. And this is what this deck is designed to do. It's designed to keep Jester Lord, the only monster on the field. I have OTK'd people with this, and let me tell you, when you OTK someone with Jester Lord, trust me, the salt is on. But yeah, it's a really good card, only a rare, surprisingly. I'm surprised this wasn't the super one out of the Jester bunch. But still, it's a pretty good card. I mean, on its own, I mean, it works with the deck, you know, on its own, it probably wouldn't last, but still pretty good. Next, we have a Cat of Ill Omen. This card, since I run a lot of traps and not a lot of monsters, I run this card and Mask of Darkness, which we'll get to later, to get back my traps. Specifically, Scrap Iron Scarecrow if I happen to lose it from MST, Compulse if I happen to lose it from MST, or Force Back once I use it. This basically lets you put a trap card on top of the deck. Now, I know it works better with Necro Valley, but unfortunately I'm short on room. Plus, I don't feel like using a field spell that just works with, that only really works with Gravekeepers. Anyway, then we're on to Mask of Darkness. Mask of Darkness allows you to bring back a trap to your hand once it's flipped. So, that's pretty good. Next, we have Mystic Tormento, and this card is basically designed to get your Jester or your Confits faster. Also, being at 1400, it's basically nearly the strongest monster you can regularly summon, so there you go. We're running 2 of him. Next, we're running Mataion the Time Lord, and this card, I'm surprised, you know, because I saw this when this was released the first time as Secret Rare, and I'm like, really? This card? So basically, you can normal summon it if you can control no monsters, which is good. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and I take no damage. And if it attacks, or if it is attacked, then you can return all, at the end of the battle phase, you can return all monsters your opponent controls to the field, to the hand, and they take 300 each. And at the end of at your next standby phase, you shuffle this into the deck. So you basically want to attack with this card. And since you take no damage, unless they Mirror Force it, can it be destroyed by battle? Yes, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, so they can't Mirror Force it. They could negate attack it or something, but other than that, no. So basically, the attack goes through, shuffle all into the hand, put all into the hand, and deal 300. And this monster keeps out. So if the opponent is stupid enough to attack again, you can activate the effect again. And I've had this happen before. And then basically you have a blank slot. So afterwards this shuffles back into the deck, and then you can basically bring out your Jester Lord and deal damage depending on how many set traps and spells you have. So that's really good. And next, for our boss monster, we have Freaken, the Ultimate Time Lord. Since this card does not run off a lot of monsters, I was reluctant to put this in the deck, but considering the fact that most of my monsters are weak and going to be sent to the grave like that, it's pretty good, because then you need 10 monsters to special summon this card. Plus, you can bring out Metallion the Time Lord from your deck, or hand, or grave, and give it 4,000 attack. Its effects are negated, but basically you have two 4,000 point monsters. They can be destroyed by battle and card effects, but still, two 4,000 point monsters at the price of 10 monsters in your graveyard. It takes a lot of stuff, but damn it, if you can pull it off, it's awesome. So that's it for monsters. For spells, we're running in the Lore of Darkness. Since I run a lot of traps and spells, most of them relies on stalling to get your Jester out. So if you're running short on cards, this is a good card to have. Dark Hole, obviously, because you want to destroy all monsters and get the Jester out by itself. We're running Gold Sarcophagus. So this is a card that I really like because, well, you all know what it does. You can banish a card next 2 turns. So basically what you want to get is either one of your Time Lords, because if you have one in hand, you want to get the other in hand as soon as possible, because you know, you don't want to waste a good card on Jester Lord, because most likely you will draw it, or Cat of Omen, or Mystic Tomato, or any of that. You want to use it on one of the Time Lords. And if I'm correct, this card, so it can't be destroyed. So if it's destroyed by battle, it's fine. Not battle, card effect. Bleh. Anyway, next we're running 2 Kaiser Colosseum. I bet some of you are wondering why I'm not running 3. Well, you know, I was thinking about running 3, but I figured there are more important cards, specifically for draw power, I needed for the deck, and search power, so I just figured I'd go with 2. Next we're running 1 for 1, because either we want to get Convent or Jester in hand, depending on what my play is. Next we have Recurring Nightmare. I'm only running 1 of this because quite too often this will be a dead draw, so I'm only going to run 1. You can select 2 Dark Monsters with 0 defense and add them to your hand. So you can bring back 2 Jesters or Convicts or a Jester and a Confit, so that's pretty cool. Next we're running 2 The Dark Door. Obviously this shortens your opponent's battle attack, so you can only attack once per turn, so that way you can concentrate on saving your monsters and putting them back in the hand. Next, we're running 2 Magic Planter. Again, this is for draw power. You can sacrifice one of your continuous spells, meaning I run Call of the Haunted and Zing Zang Hu, so if you use this on Call of the Haunted, you will sacrifice a monster, but more likely it will be worth it. Then we have Vengeful Bog Spirit. No one is playing this card anymore, and I'm surprised why, because monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned. That's pretty damn good, especially in this metagame where people... And it's not just once per turn, it's any monster that is summoned. So, especially in decks now, where they constantly swarm the field. Like, when Stellar Knights come out in America, holy shit, this card better see some play. Or even now with, like, Madolche or Six Samurai, even though you don't really see play with them anymore. Or Dark Worlds, again, you don't really see play with them anymore. Or any other card that would just swarm the field, can summon 3 monsters in a move, like the new artifacts coming out. I'm trying to think of some new current archetypes that are actually used for this. I guess Noble Knights could be one with the new Noble Knight Brothers coming out. But yeah, the only one I can currently think now is Madolche, and with Primal Origins coming out, you know, they're having Angeli, they can special summon. You want this card on the field. That prevents you from taking any damage. And next, we're running Bottomless Trap Hole, obviously to get rid of opponent's monster. 2 Call of the Haunted, so you can bring back your Jester or your Tomato, your Convict, because I don't think you can special summon these. Okay, Time Lord cannot be special summoned from the deck, so you could use this to revive it. That's pretty cool. However, this is the only one that requires specific special summoning skills. Okay. Next, we're using a Force Back. Since it's a counter trap, not a lot of people will know how to work it unless they have Wiretap which most people will run. I'm surprised I'm not running it in here, but I don't need any more traps cluttering my deck. This basically negates normal summon or flip summon a monster, returns it to the hand. That's pretty damn good. Next, we're running 3 Scap Iron Scarecrow. Again, you need to stall in this deck to make it work. And people are going to say that's trolly, but that is the facts. You need to stall in this deck to make it work. Next, we're running 2 Zing Zing Hu, I believe. Sorry if I'm murdering the Japanese names, but anyway. So this card, you can target 2 set spell cards. And your opponent cannot activate. And that's pretty good, because with since Jester Lord relies on you having your opponent having face down cards, you need to make sure they can't use them. What's also found interesting is that you can use these on your own cards. That way, when you activate Magic Planter, it'll be a +2 minus. It'll be a +1. So basically, you get to sacrifice 1 card, draw 2. So it's basically evens out, gives you 2 more cards, and you didn't really risk anything. And lastly, 1 Compulse. And, if this was at 3 or even 2, this deck would be much better. But still, only at 1 is pretty good because, like I said, you can use Mask of Darkness to get it back, or Cataville Omen to get it quicker. But yeah, that's pretty good. So that's the main deck. Let's go to the extra deck. Originally, there wasn't an extra deck in this, but someone might mention that maybe I'll use it because I can't just rely on Jester all the time. So, we're going to be running 2 54 Lionheart, and this is actually a really good card. Very rarely will I bring it out because, quite frankly, 3 level 1 monsters. When I only run 6 of them, and one of them I can only control 1 of, so that means I would have to summon 2 Jester Lords. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle to get into. But still a good card to have. Next we're running 3 Ghost Trick Dualahan. This has become a staple in a lot of decks that run level 1 monsters I've seen. It can cut your attack points in half, and basically, if it's destroyed, yeah, there's not really a stipulation. Yeah, actually, you need to. Actually, we need to run this Ghost Trick to get a full effect, but still, you can cut a monster's attack in half. That's pretty good. Next, we're running two of the each. Number 31, Embodiment of Punishment, and number 13, Embodiment of Crime. Obviously, you know what these two do when they're put together. They're freaking awesome. They take all damage, These cards cannot be destroyed by battle while they have Exe's material, and your opponent takes any battle damage they would have taken. So basically, it's a stall effect. So next we have 3 Slacker Magician. Again, another basically stall card. You can attach 1, negate the activation if you do destroy it. So, that's pretty good. And we're running 63 Samujay Soldiers. And I really don't. There wasn't that too many good rank 1s, in my opinion. At least that would work well with this deck. So basically what I did was I put this in it because, for one, it gives you 2 effects. One's opponent stand by face, each player draws a card, so that's good draw power. Or each player gains 1,000, because sometimes, even if you give your opponent life points, you're still gaining points back. So it's basically like you lost nothing, but you're getting monsters in the graveyard, which is good because you want monsters in the graveyard to bring out the Ultimate Time Lord, which then can do that and go for your 4,000 beaters. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's the deck profile on Jesters. I will try to have more deck profiles uploaded today, sometime, hopefully. Like I said, my schedule's like a bunch of bullshit, but you know how that works. So anyway, guys, this is Noble Knight 96, and I will see yins later.